Hello, good people, and welcome back to my channel, Trish Tio TV. I hope you're doing well. I'm fine myself. I just thought of hopping on here to give my 2 cents about this story trending on social media about the divorce between Ashraf Hakimi and Hiba Abuk. So, if you don't know who Ashraf Hakimi is, he is a Moroccan international soccer player who is currently playing for Paris Saint-Germain, which is one of the top flight football teams in Europe. And then Hiba Abuk is some sort of actress, come model. You know, one of these professions which pretty privileged women tend to have. Not that I'm taking anything away from her, but she's not really a serious actress because I'd never heard of her. So that means she's never been featured in a big budget movie. So anyway, so they had a divorce hearing last week in Paris. And then this lady is the one who actually filed for divorce. And she was asking for half the value of Hakimi's fortune, which is reportedly $70 million. But then she had a rude awakening when she was told that the man has no assets under his name. So she wasn't going to get anything from him. And then on her part, she's reportedly worth $3 million. So because the man has nothing to his name, she is the one who is richer than him. So you know what that means? That means she is the one who is actually liable to pay him half of what she's worth and plus pay his legal fees for this legal action because she is the one who initiated, the proceedings. So anyway, to give the backstory, this lady met this guy when she was 31 and the guy was 19. Yeah, so you can see they had a very wide age gap. So it seems like she was a predator. Yeah, because to be honest, a 19-year-old guy is just too young. He's still a teenager, trying to figure out who he is. Yeah, but the way he was showing promising signs of having a lucrative career in football, he was obviously a target. Yeah, most of these gold diggers go to like training academies to fish for these upcoming athletes. And then on the entertainment side, if a guy shows signs of a promising career in acting or in music, you have gold diggers targeting them. So I think that's what happened here. So, and she is a beautiful woman. So him being a naive boy obviously fell for the good looks, yeah. And because she's older, she obviously has a lot of tricks up her sleeve, which she used to seduce the young boy. So anyway, they had a relationship and then got married in 2020 Feb. And within like 2 3 years, she had managed to give birth to 2 kids. Yeah. So fast forward Feb this year, the woman went to vacation in Dubai with the 2 kids. And then Hakimi invited some woman over to their marital house. Yeah. And then afterwards, this woman made allegations about him assaulting her. And I don't know whether she pressed charges or if she just went to some gossip website and gave her version of story. Because as we speak, he hasn't been officially charged. So he is an innocent man because he has not been prosecuted about the allegation. Yeah. So anyway, after all that, the wife decided to file for divorce and then went to court last week where she discovered that the man has nothing to his name. Yeah. So people have been wondering why the man has nothing to his name, yet he earns a very hefty salary, because he reportedly earns €1 million per month. Yeah. And so it turns out that all the guy's assets and cars, houses, what have you, are registered under his mother's name. And his salary also, like 80% of his salary also goes to his mother's bank account. So that's why when they went to court, he basically had nothing to his name. So the woman couldn't benefit from his fortune. So anyway, after the outcome in court, a lot of men have been celebrating. And I'm sure women who have male relatives that they care about, especially mothers of sons, were also very happy about the outcome. Yeah. So it seems like the gold diggers are down and the city boys are up. That's what's trending on social media at the moment. So anyway, the funny thing is, now that Hiba is reportedly worth $3 million legally, she's now the one who is supposed to pay him half of what she owns, plus pay his legal fees. Yeah. Because she is the one who launched the legal proceedings, so she's going to have to pay for Hakimi's lawyers. Imagine how that turned out. So a lot of people are saying, oh, Hakimi played chess while Hiba was playing checkers. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of things have been developing because somebody said Hakimi's mother was interviewed, was it yesterday or the day before, about the whole issue. And the mother said she had no idea about Hakimi transferring his fortune to her. I don't know how believable that is. I think she just wanted to divert attention away from their calculating moves. So she claims she didn't know what the son was up to. I don't know how true that is. How do you see millions flowing into your account and you don't know where the source is? I mean, you don't know the source of the millions. Yeah. So anyway, and then she said if the son's decision, it was his son's decision to protect himself, he thinks that was the best possible way to deal with the wife. So which leads me to think she had not approved of her as a daughter-in-law. Yeah. And I think a lot of people look at her sideways because she was older, much older than him. So obviously she was the one running the show. Yeah, because as much as people like to say age is nothing but a number, there's usually a social stigma associated with relationships with significant age differences, especially when the woman is the older spouse. And then there's also this thing about, okay, she was 31 when she met him. So that's a good age for a woman to consider starting a family. But a 19-year-old boy surely is too young, yeah, to consider marriage. It's just like the story I covered about KRG. If you check one of my videos, I had covered a story about KRG. Happens to be a rich man who was also forced to the altar by an older woman. I think he was only 23, and they ended up divorcing after 10 years. So that's just another example to show you that by in their early 20s, guys are still too young because they're developing. Like in this case, Hakimi was focusing on his career. So by having kids, he at that young age, and he's still trying to reach the peak of his career, he wouldn't have, that attention diverted towards his family. Yeah. So anyway, and then when it comes to relating to women, he's still in that discovery stage where he wants to experiment with many girlfriends. Hence the reason why he invited over a woman to his marital home when the wife was away, because maybe he's bored of the wife already. Yeah? So anyway, I think the other thing which makes me think Hakimi's mother did not approve of this woman is the fact that she appears to be very liberal. Because even if you look at how she dresses, there was this picture of them on some red carpet event whereby she was wearing a dress with the slashes. In fact, I think the right boob was almost falling out of the dress. And then you could see her waist, and then it had a slit all the way to her thighs. So she was showing too much, yeah. And if you look at Hakimi's mother, she's always like in a hijabi, yeah. She dresses modestly. So I don't think she really approved of that lady. Hence the reason why she said if Hakimi transferred his fortune to her, unbeknownst to her, that was the best way he protected himself from the wife. So I don't think there's any love lost between her and Hiba. So anyway, as much as people are cheering this outcome, I just hope that Hakimi is going to do right by his sons. Yeah, I hope he's going to make sure that they lead a good standard of life. And if he doesn't want his ex-wife to access any money that he spends on the kids, I hope he opens like a trust fund for them, which they'll access once they reach 18. So that way, their mother won't be able to squander their money. Yeah. And then as for Hakimi's mother, as much as people are celebrating, now that people know she is the one holding his fortune, she's now liable to being a victim of fraud. I'm sure there's going to be people trying to approach her with suggestions about funny investment strategies. And then there's also the other risk of, because she's an elderly woman, yeah? So if, let's say, she passes away and the fortune is left behind without her writing a proper will, nominating Hakimi as the sole beneficiary to the fortune, what's going to happen is, if Hakimi has siblings, I think he has like 2 siblings, the fortune is going to be split between the three of them, which is something I don't know whether Hakimi would be down for that. Yeah. And then there's also this other thing of, okay, fine, Hakimi might instruct her to draft a will, and a will that only nominates him as a beneficiary, but one of the siblings might decide to sweet talk their mom to change the will. Yeah. And knowing how mothers are, I'm sure the mother will be like, oh, Hakimi, you have a lot of money. You don't need all this money. So because your sister and brother have less than you, it's only fair that you share it out equally. So anyway, I hope she doesn't fall victim to any scam artists. And I just hope Hakimi takes care of the two sons he had with Hiba. So at the end of the day, this is a very, very important learning opportunity, especially for young men. Yeah. So anyway, the other way of avoiding all this is if you live in a country where prenups are upheld, the best thing to do would just be to, make sure you have a prenup before you get married, and make sure the prenup is drafted properly. But you see, because some women hesitate, as in they claim if you ask them to sign a prenup, it's a sign that you don't trust them. I guess you have to use Hakimi's strategy. So anyway, this has been a very interesting story. So I don't know what you think. Are you Team Hakimi or are you Team Hiba? Just let me know what you think about this whole issue in the comment section. Like this video as usual, share it out, and subscribe to my channel to help my channel grow. See you next time.